What's up, Leo? How's everybody doing? Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. So, I was seeing the Ten of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. You may be feeling a little bit stressed out with something going on, but it looks like somebody's coming through to help you, or at least offer to help. Whether you take it or not is going to be up to you, but I am seeing somebody ready and available to provide some sort of assistance to you. I'm looking at the Emperor. This would be somebody that you trust, at least for this situation. The Emperor represents Aries. It can also just represent somebody that you perceive to be responsible, reliable, somebody you can lean on, I'm getting, in this scenario. Getting a lot of fire energy. The Aries and Sagittarius. Some water thrown in there. Let's see. There's something that somebody wants here, but they're going to have to wait for it. And it looks like it's also attached to like some sort of emotional experience. It can also be a person that you want to connect with emotionally. There's a sense of like needing to do things in like a methodical, even strategic way. Patiently. Slowly. Yeah, it's like there's definitely some type of gain that you want to get from this experience, but you're gonna have to do it the right way. Especially too, because it seems like you want to be perceived in a particular light. And so you're not just going to have to dress the part, you're also going to have to act the part, play the part that you want. So it's like you have to put everything into this. Otherwise, things may not translate in the way that you want them to. I'm hearing whole body. Now, what is this going on here? There's something going on. So, are you keeping track of someone from your past, or are they keeping track of you? If you're keeping track of them, I don't see them right now as keeping an eye on you. However, if you're not watching this person, then they are watching you. It looks like it's not mutual right now. It's like either one party or the other is what I'm getting. I am seeing someone from the past pop up. You would still have an emotional connection with this person. I'm hearing whether you've said so or not. Interesting. I'm seeing the involvement of Neptune here, which may have you be feeling something. So with Neptune, when Neptune comes around and it becomes involved in a connection that you have with somebody, Neptune is like a fantasy or an ideal space, it can be, of like what you want to happen. However, there are many times when the Neptune fantasy does not actually materialize, and that may be something that's going on. It's like you could be fantasizing about someone from the past that you have an emotional connection with. I'm looking at some strong Cancer energy. I'm looking at Neptune, Sagittarius, and Aries here. Let's get further. Someone may have dismissed an opportunity with you. For some of you, they didn't actually mean it, which is interesting. Because I'm actually hearing the word foreplay. It feels like this person could have turned something down, but maybe more in, like... Yeah, they didn't actually mean it. Okay, let's keep going with this. Yeah, it's almost like something didn't go through or it bounced back even. And it's like you may still be wanting to make an offer to this person. I'm seeing even a notion of being like you feel well suited for something and maybe it was surprising that something was turned down. And you may have like reformed in some type of way to come through and do that thing again. But you may be trying to make something fit that's not going to work. I'm almost getting the notion of being like, how could this person not want me? Look who I am. It's something like that. Remember, energies can be reversed. This can be somebody that you've been dealing with. But it's almost like this person is under the impression of like who they are and that they like would appeal to other people. And it's like, even though this person is coming through as dressed like the emperor, they're like denied access in some sort of way. And it's like they're still going to try to come through again because they want to, but they're being guided to ground that Neptune energy because it's like something is not working on purpose. It's like they think that they want something, but it keeps not working out. So they're trying to figure out other ways to like approach this or address it. And it's actually bringing more stress into their life because it's not meant to be happening. So it's like you or this person was deliberately like being guided by the universe and told that something is not working out. It's a no-go. Neptune is involved here. So like, let's use an example. It's like you see somebody walking down the street and you think you're going to be with this person and get married to them. And it's like, before you've even made eye contact with them for more than 2 seconds, it's like you're already thinking about like your 3 kids and your 5 animals and whatever else. And like you may try to approach them and it ends up not working. Like this person is not interested. And you're like, well, maybe I need to change the way that I'm approaching them. It's going to have to work out because we belong together. And it's like, meanwhile, you are not this person's type at all, is what I'm seeing, Leo. It's like you may not even be aware of their preferences, but you may be, and remember again, this can be the other person, but I'm seeing somebody be like so much so like feeling their energy and being like, how would I not appeal to this person? It's like they don't even think that they wouldn't appeal to this person. Meanwhile, they don't actually appeal to the person. This is such an interesting concept. But yeah, it's like maybe they think anybody would be attracted to them, or like they can't even perceive that this person would not be attracted to them. Meanwhile, like they don't have any idea about this person's preferences, and you are not it, whatever it is, for this person. But I'm seeing that somehow it's like that wasn't even thought about for whatever reason. Maybe this person has also like not ever been denied something that they want to. It's like maybe they found that everybody they've been interested has also always been interested in them, and it's like they were not expecting to not be somebody's type, and this really throws them for a loop. Yeah, I'm seeing something come to an end. This could have been somebody, this could have been like an ex that you were with that you were like, they'll come back around. I'm going to be with them again. And it's like, maybe even you waited too long for something and it's like this person has totally broken away and they're not interested anymore. It's like slowly working to accept something that has truly come to an end so you can start something new. Yeah, it feels like you could have been trying to make an offer to like a dead end situation, even, Leo. Or somebody was doing this to you. I'm hearing grow and I'm hearing wait. This is something that's going to help bring you back into, I'm hearing the soul space and the heart space. Because I'm seeing that something needed to come to an end. Whoever this person is from the past, like things were not going to work out with them. As much as you may have love for this person, it's something that wasn't going to be able to work out. Like, there's just something incompatible between the two of you, and this was not meant to be the destination. This was meant to be a short stop that you were making on the way to your destination. This is not the destination, not with this person. To go over the signs again, I'm looking at Aries, Neptune, Sagittarius, Cancer. Cancer is really sticking out to me here. I'm seeing the Aries more so be you, Leo. Yeah, as soon as you come to terms with the fact that something that you may think that you want, as soon as you like ground that energy and see like where the fantasy space is and how that is not parallel to the reality, you're going to understand that something does not fit. It's even like a sense of like cognitive dissonance that you're having, because like reality is here and like the fantasy of what you want is here, and they are not it's not going to materialize for you. It's like something ungrounded. And as soon as you like snap out of that bubble of Neptune energy, you're going to be like, wow, I was trying to make something fit and it was actually bringing so much more stress into my life because I was not accepting the situation for what it is. I was only seeing these things that I wanted to see in this situation. And that is the effect of Neptune. It has you believing certain things that are what you want to see rather than seeing everything. And this feels like a moment where like the pink bubble of Neptune gets popped and you kind of land in this like pile of stress or reality. But the beautiful thing here is that you're going to then see things clearly rather than being caught up in a fantasy that like actually is not going to materialize. I'm getting this be very important here. For some of you, you do have a lot of Neptune in your chart, or specifically in relation to you and this person. So it puts you in a fantasy space with the Neptune. Neptune is very beautiful to work with, but when it's in its shadow, it can be like very much idealizing other people or idealizing a relationship. And one that actually isn't like completely healthy at times or what you think it is. Because Neptune can be like, in reality, in the fantasy, you're living in like a castle with like all of your butlers and fancy artwork and expensive watches, and in reality, like everybody else looking in, you're living in a cardboard box. Like that's what Neptune is. So yeah, I'm seeing like something be grounded. This even feels like a little bit of some sort of shift even when it comes to the ego space, and maybe realizing that like something really was not going to work out, and that a situation like you are not compatible with a situation. And moving on from this, when you do find that right thing that clicks or that right thing that fits for you, there's a notion of being like, wow, I'm so glad that I actually got to experience a time when like the fantasy really did manifest. And you're going to be glad that you walked away from this. Because even when we are in Neptune, like, even though we can convince ourselves that things are what we want, even though we may not be consciously realizing something, subconsciously and intuitively, you know something isn't right. So that feeling is always back there. So I'm seeing you try to move through an ending with an energy that you felt very familiar with, and maybe one that you thought you were going to continue along with in each other's storylines. I'm hearing, but not this time. I'm seeing even something emotionally going on that had been a barrier to you, that as you like heal this space and are able to honor the emotional experience that you're having, it actually leads you to something that you are meant to be getting into now. But there had been some type of barrier on the emotional front that needed to be worked through, something with your water energy. You may also be striving for a sense of stability, and you know it's going to take a little bit of time for you to build that. Like, you could be working on things, or know that something that you're investing in is going to take some time, but it's going to be worth it in the end, because you're going to have an outcome that you're looking to have. For some of you too, you're like watching how much you're spending and stuff, or being mindful of that, how you're allocating resources, how you're prioritizing your resources, whether this be like money or your time and energy, your focus, your self-care. Spending the time you need to reflect. This feels like, rather than just being on autopilot, giving yourself that time that you need to actually go in and check in and see what's going on and disengage from other people. I'm seeing this be part of the challenge right now. I'm looking at Virgo. I'm hearing, how much time do I spend here? How much time do I spend there? I'm seeing something that you're looking into. The more you check in, the more you're going to feel guided as well, I'm seeing. It's a moment where, like, you have the map, but if you're not accessing it, then it's not going to be useful to you. But you have it, you just have to check in and access it. But if you're not checking in, again, you don't have that access to it. So it's all about making the choice to check in. I'm hearing the word superstar with the star and the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. There may be something fancy even going on with your job. It looks even like something ideal happening within the career setting. Looking at strong Aquarian energy. Okay, I'm hearing guiding force now. There may be something going on where it's like, you could like kind of be on autopilot, or just be living and living and living and not going into like an introspective or meditative space. But I'm seeing that specifically be the challenge here. So it's like, as much as you could be very active, if you're not giving yourself this time to check in, it's almost like some gift or something you have access to, you're not going to be able to access by your own choice. However, if you pass this karmic test to reflect at times when you need to, especially during moments of deliberation, you're going to pass through the karmic test, and then you get access to something, and it even looks like something career related, something direction related. Feeling like North Node, MC here, 10th house. I'm hearing creative. It even feels like a moment where you're like, that is the perfect job for me, or that is the specific direction I want to be going in. I'm getting a lot about like a cool blue color here. Yeah, you get the insight that you need, the insight that you're looking for. For some of you, this can also be because you're connecting with someone. Again, I'm looking at Virgo and Aquarius. If that's not you. So you get information that you need, and it's going to help you make a choice, make a decision. This can even be going down a route that may be more traditional versus something that you actually want to explore, but it's not as commonly done. It may be something unique or original that you're doing rather than maybe something more common. And I'm not seeing it be like one choice is better than the other. You just have two options now to pick from. It's like maybe you even have access again to something that you didn't have before. It feels like a path. Like it's special access granted is what I'm hearing. Something is even unlocked for you. But if you talk yourself out of this, especially when it comes to your abilities, if you are lacking a sense of self-confidence to the point where it inhibits you from making a decision you want to make, then I'm hearing stockpiling, then you're going to be in a place where you're not exploring something that you want to explore. However, if this is something that you're able to work through, where you may feel a sense of self-doubt and be like, maybe I'm not completely confident in myself, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want to. You're going to be able to achieve something you want to achieve. This feels very much like it's related to like your self-worth and like even innate intrinsic abilities that you have. Regardless of what other people are telling you, what they're saying, and regardless of what a negative self-talk space is saying. Or like limiting self-beliefs. So if you can overcome, transcend the adversity here, whether this be from your environment and or from within that you're experiencing, and still pursue something that you want to pursue, it looks like you're going to be going in a direction that you feel very happy with. I'm seeing you end up feeling very happy that you chose to pursue something, even if it was a little bit differently, maybe even than you had expected to go down the path of. It's one of those moments where you can allow fear to decide for you and make a decision, or you can allow like faith and self-trust and your hopes and dreams guide you into a particular space. But either way, I'm seeing like you're gonna have to make a decision. So it's like you're either gonna have to go right or left here. There's no middle road anymore. Alright, Leo, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.